Okay, so if you watched my last video on the trailer for Justice League, I talked about what to expect from that film, and now I'm going to go into the films that are coming up after Justice League. The franchise is now being guided along by legendary comic book writer turned film producer Geoff Johns, so let's talk about what they've got planned. First up is Aquaman, which is currently filming. The film is being directed by James Wan, mostly known for horror films, who made his action debut with Furious 7. New writer Will Beall drafted the script from a story by James Wan and Geoff Johns. Jason Momoa is of course playing Arthur Curry, aka Aquaman, while Amber Heard and Willem Dafoe will also be reprising their roles from Justice League as love interest Mira and Arthur's mentor Vulko. Nicole Kidman and Tamir Morrison will be playing Aquaman's parents, Queen Atlanta of Atlantis, and Tom Curry, a human lighthouse keeper who she gets along with real well, resulting in Arthur's birth. It's been confirmed that Arthur, in spite of having his trident and costume in Justice League, has never been to Atlantis at the outset of this film, so it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. James Wan regular Patrick Wilson will be playing Arthur's full Atlantean evil half-brother Orm, aka Ocean Master. However, it seems this role will mainly be setting up for sequels, as it's been stated that the main villain will be Black Manta, played by Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, basically a human who wants to take over the seas. But just recently, Dolph Lundgren was cast as King Nereus, an exiled Atlantean and king of his own underwater city who, in the comics, wants to kill Aquaman and take Mira as his bride. So, man, what is this film going to be about? Aquaman is currently slated for a Christmas 2018 release, the only announced release date that really has much meaning anymore. Now, there are also 4 Batman-related films in development. Recent rumors state that all 4 are aimed at release in 2019 to coincide with the character's 80th anniversary, and frankly, I believe it because these are about the only projects that have both writers and directors attached. The first is The Batman, which has gone through some real production upheavals. Ben Affleck was writing a script with Geoff Johns and was going to direct it, then he stepped down. Matt Reeves, who's made the last couple Planet of the Apes films, is now directing, and they just started over from scratch on the script. I couldn't even tell you who's writing it now, I just know someone is. It's been known for a long time that Joe Manganiello, who was appearing in Justice League as the bad guy Deathstroke, would reprise the role in this film as the main villain, but since they totally started over, even he doesn't seem to know if he'll be in the film. But I'm sure it'll be great, right? Hey, remember how Suicide Squad was a big hit, particularly with the character of Harley Quinn? Well, Harley Quinn is being spun off into the film Gotham City Sirens, which will feature her teamed up with other femme fatales of Gotham City, presumably Catwoman and Poison Ivy. David Ayer, the director of Suicide Squad, will direct the film. Then there's Nightwing, the story of the first Robin, all grown up and fighting crime on his own in Bloodhaven. The film is being written by Bill Dubuque, fresh off his debut with The Accountant, and is directed by Chris McKay, who just directed the Lego Batman movie. I know, weird, right? It's like, well, he made a pretty good spoof of the franchise, now here's the real thing. The most recently announced film is Batgirl, which is being written and directed by the geek god himself, Joss Whedon, who's totally going turncoat after having directed Avengers 1 and 2 for Marvel. Though if Bryan Singer and J.J. Abrams can get away with it, so can Joss himself. Oh my Joss, this is going to be awesome. I mean, Joss only knows how cool this can be. Good Joss, I need to stop talking about this. So those are your 4 Batman films of 2019. Now, because David Ayer is making Gotham City Sirens, that means he won't be making Suicide Squad 2, which is also underway. While Adam Kozad, who's penned a couple of films recently, is writing the script, the studios have been looking at a number of directors for the project, including, oddly enough, Mel Gibson. That doesn't appear to be happening anymore, though. Then there's The Flash, which originally had a March 2018 release date, but they lost their director and, like The Batman, have now started from scratch on the script. Actually, they are still, to my knowledge, using the initial story outline written by the Lego Movie's Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, but the script itself was started over by Joby Harold, who has King Arthur Legend of the Sword coming out later this summer. Still no director, though. All we really know is that both Ezra Miller and Kiersey Clemons will reprise their roles from Justice League as The Flash and his love interest Iris West. Shazam was initially supposed to get his own film in 2019, with The Rock being cast by the studio early on as the villain Black Adam, but given The Rock's massive star power, the decision was recently made to also give Black Adam his own movie. The Rock himself stated recently that Shazam is being rewritten to feature another villain, the plan being for him and Adam to cross paths somewhere further on in the future. Henry Gayden, who made his debut with Earth to Echo, is writing the new script. There's also an effort underway to make another Superman solo film. Recent rumors stated that Matthew Vaughn was in talks to direct. Then, of course, there's Justice League 2, which was set for 2019, but removed to make room for The Batman. Zack Snyder is still signed on to return to direct. The film would presumably feature Green Lantern joining the team and Darkseid as the main villain. Given the delay, this film might not now come out before the new Green Lantern debuts in his own film. Speaking of, Green Lantern is set for a reboot with Green Lantern Corps in 2020, which will apparently feature more than one human Green Lantern, as there have been a number in the comics. Not only Hal Jordan, but also Jon Stewart, Guy Gardner, and Kyle Rayner. The script is being written by David S. Goyer and Justin Rhodes, making it the 70-zillionth comic book movie that David Goyer has worked on in some form. And also, Cyborg will be getting his own film, still scheduled for 2020. Don't know much about that one yet, though. Oh yeah, there's also been mention of making a Deadshot spinoff too, but there's been no news of that actually going into active development, so it doesn't really count, but there it is. So there you go, that's what DC has planned for the next few years. Now, we really have no idea when most of these films will hit, or how many films per year DC can really make, but that's what we know. And I'm looking forward to seeing what comes of it.